Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name's Tim from OnlineTeacherDude.com. So happy to have you here. In this video, I am going to talk about having a niche, whether you should or not, and I'm going to state an unpopular opinion that online teachers, maybe like you, don't need a niche to get started. Let's back up a little bit and think about what the word niche or niche actually means. Oxford Dictionary defines it as a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. So the idea behind a niche is that you are offering a specific type of service or a specific type of product to a specific individual. And the concept of having a niche in business is paramount. It's important. It's what makes businesses successful. Hands down, 100%, I agree that having a niche is not a fabricated myth. It is something that is true. When you walk into a camera store, you don't want to see them selling milk and cereal. You want to see them selling cameras. Their targeted product is cameras to whoever wants to buy a camera. When you walk into a doctor's office for a specialized service such as dermatology, you want to see a dermatologist. You don't want to see a generalist doctor. You don't want to see a doctor that specializes in cardiology for your skin disease, right? So the results of finding your niche and these businesses being able to target a particular individual with a particular type of service or product means that they can charge more money. A brain surgeon most likely makes more money than a generalist doctor. Someone who specializes in wedding photography probably can make more money than someone that doesn't specialize in anything at all and just likes taking pictures. Any business owner or anyone with any kind of business advice is going to tell you to have a niche, and once you have a niche down further. And once you've niched down further, niche down even further. The term, the riches are in the niches, is a true statement. That is true. In teaching ESL online, this would look like deciding on a particular type of student that you want to teach and to be able to provide them with a specific type of result for their problem. It would look like, maybe in a very broad sense, your niche is adults or your niche is kids. Some would argue that that's not a niche. So to go even further, maybe you target business professionals or you target high school students who want to go to university abroad, or you target doctors or lawyers that live in Japan who want to increase their medical vocabulary in English. Those are more targeted niches in our ESL industry. This is something to aim for, but this is not something you need to get started. And here's why. It's often promoted online, on the internet, in Facebook groups, and on YouTube videos that if you don't have a niche, you can't charge a high amount of money for your classes. And that's just simply not true. I have sort of two target audiences in my business. I do target students. I do have a teaching business where I teach students privately by myself online, but I also have a targeted group of people, namely online teachers, that I create content for to attract them into my world, which is exactly what I'm doing right now with this video. This video is not for students. This video is not for anyone in the world that wants to learn about a niche. It's for ESL teachers like you who are watching this video. I also want to say that not having a niche as an ESL teacher doesn't mean that you can't be successful. It doesn't mean that you can't charge lots of money for your classes. Oftentimes, having a niche can be linked to being able to charge higher rates. Absolutely. I don't disagree. But I also want to say that being able to charge higher rates and to be successful as an independent teacher can also be linked to your brand awareness and your popularity, as well as your success with your students. The amount you charge can be linked to your offer. It can be linked to what you provide students. It can be linked to the reviews that you have from students. And that can mean that you don't have any specific niche, but you are teaching English to students or to adults, around the world or wherever, in China or in Latin America or whatever it is. So it doesn't mean that not having a targeted niche that you're not going to be successful or you're not going to be able to charge higher rates. Because teaching online for me has always been kind of a smaller part of what I do, a very consistent part of what I do, but not the main thing that I do, I have never really worked on a highly profitable niche. I've always worked in the area of teaching ESL as a second language to Chinese students. Is that a niche? Maybe. Is it very targeted? Not really, because as long as the student can afford my classes and that I'm providing results for them, then those are the students that I'm going to go for. I am at the point where I can say, you know, this is probably not a student I can help, so maybe they sort of lie outside of what I offer, and maybe this is just not a student that's going to be successful in my classes, you know, because of X, Y, and Z reasons, and I'm able to say no, or I'm able to be a little bit more picky because I've established myself a little bit with my students and I have lots of contacts. But you know, getting started, I worked solely with ESL companies, and those companies, to be quite honest, are not really highly niched companies. They are just companies that offered English classes to any student, you know, under the age of 17 that wanted to learn English from a native speaker. Pretty broad in my opinion, yet they were very successful. Because at the end of the day, most students just come to your online classes to talk to a native speaker, to learn English from a native speaker. Of course, there are segments of those populations that are going to want specific services or specific types of English classes to prepare them for maybe exams or to prepare them for further education or traveling abroad or going to a private international school, etc. But the vast majority of students who want to learn English just want to learn English. And I'm going to say that the vast amount of teachers that want to teach independently really just want to get started teaching. They're not so concerned with the niche right away, but yet they feel they have to be in order to be successful. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be so targeted in your niche to get started. You just want to get students. And I hear from so many teachers that I work with on a daily basis that they just want to get their first student. And when you're told that, well, you need to have this targeted niche and you need to be very specific on who you're teaching, while absolutely, I agree with that. And I think that down the road, your niche can really evolve, it can change, and once you get started with a few students, you might figure out what you like about teaching online, what you don't like, who you like teaching online, who you don't like, and your skills kind of rise to the surface as to what you enjoy and what you're good at, successful at, and how you're able to help students progress in their English journey. You know, as a little anecdote, I'm learning another language right now. I'm learning Thai, the language spoken in Thailand, where I live. And when I was looking for a Thai teacher, and I take one-on-one classes, I really relied on referrals. I wasn't so concerned with what their niche was. I'm an expat living in Thailand, and I wanted to learn basic Thai to get me started so that I can start learning on my own maybe, and being able to just have a base level of Thai to start communicating with locals. A niche is something that develops with time and doesn't always have to be the most important thing that you have before you get started, because let's be honest, maybe you just want to start getting students. Maybe you just need your first student. You know, the focus of my Launch Going Solo course, which has been taken by hundreds of teachers, is not on finding a niche. It's on getting the business set up so that you're ready, you're prepared with the tools and software that you need to start teaching online, so that when you do get that first inquiry, you're ready to go. You've got your rate set, you've got your software to teach online, you've made your choices around curriculum, and you've learned a little bit about marketing as well to attract your students. You can start teaching online with anyone who wants to learn with you. If you're someone that can teach English to someone who wants to learn English, then put yourself out there. Don't worry too much about the niche to get started, because I see so many teachers who get paralyzed in fear and uncertainty around their niche that it really prevents them from moving forward. So I want you to focus on getting inquiries. I want you to focus on building up an awareness of your brand, who you are as a teacher online, attracting students with whatever means possible. I tell people, no one's going to talk about your teaching business more than you. So go out there and get scrappy. Find ways to attract students. If you make videos online, you're going to get comments, you're going to get views. If you post on forums, you're going to get replies. If you post and help people in Facebook groups, you're going to be known as someone that can teach English online. If you are putting yourself out there in all the ways possible, then you will start getting inquiries. And as you get those inquiries, as you start building up a few students, your niche will develop. And if you want to get into a highly profitable niche, you certainly can down the road, but I don't want it to be a hindrance to you getting started. So if you are at the very beginning of your online teaching journey and you just want to learn how to teach online independently, I really want you to think about how you can put yourself out there in front of the eyes of those you want to teach. I want you to think about all the ways, and if you're going to spend time doing some thinking and actually work around how to get yourself out there, I want you to make a list of all the places that you could start to advertise yourself online as an online ESL teacher. So do you need a niche to teach online independently? Yes and no. To get started, I don't believe so. I wish you all the best. Your niche will come, and I promise you that if you remove the hindrances to getting started, if you remove the negative mindset, if you remove those things that seem really difficult and what you're unsure about, you're going to make progress, you're going to take action and see results, because it's like a snowball. It really builds momentum. The more consistently you show up, the more consistently you do things, that snowball will get bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you'll have a full-blown teaching business teaching the students that you love, who pay you what you're worth. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. I create videos here all about online independent teaching, working remotely from home and traveling the world. If you'd like to see more, please check out these videos.